Start off in Supta Baddha Konasana. Soles of the feet together, knees wide apart. Let the inner legs spread. Start off just by grounding yourself in the breath. Then bring your knees up. Take the feet as the width of the mat and let the knees knock in. Then let the knees go wide. Exhale the knees together. Inhale, slowly spread the knees. So start to slow down and lengthen your breath. Think of it like a breathing exercise while moving the knees. So really important that we start to exercise the lungs. Then keep the knees upright and we'll move the lower back and the pelvis with the breath. Exhale to flatten the lower back and tuck the pelvis. Inhale to arch the lower back, move the hip bones away from you. Slow your breath down. Exhale to flatten the lower back. Inhale, slowly arch the lower back. Exhale, flatten the lower back. Good. Now inhale into neutral. Put one hand on your lower back, one hand on your navel so you feel what the neutral is, and hold it. Without losing the neutral or the pelvis twisting, bring the right leg up into tabletop and slowly lower it. The shoulders shouldn't move, the middle shouldn't move. Bring the left leg slowly up and lower it down. Exhale the right leg up. Inhale it down. Exhale the left knee up, slowly with control. Inhale it down. Exhale the right knee up and lower. Exhale the left knee up. So the breath technique is important because it helps to keep your nerves calm. So when we get stressed out in the day, you'll feel that's like when your back hurts the worst. So these breathing exercises are nice to help open up the lungs, help teach the nerves stay calm. Take both knees up now, keeping your back ribs down. Slowly start to reach the arms back. Now working on stability helps to keep the lower back long when we're moving other things, so that when you stretch your arms, your back isn't getting yanked. All right. Now hug your knee towards your chest, right knee to your chest, stretch the left leg out along the floor. Reach the left arm back behind you. Push through your left heel, get a long stretch. And then bring the left arm back up and change sides. Hug the left knee into the chest, stretch the right leg out, push through your left heel, through your right heel, and reach your right arm all the way overhead. Long stretch through the right heel, through the fingers. Keep the navel in, the back ribs down. Then change legs, hug the right knee in, and breathe length into the back of the right leg. So sometimes you think like, oh, if my lower back hurts, it really just means I need to do a good stretch for it. But it's often the opposite. Often you need to stabilize the lower back and stretch the muscles around it, like your hamstrings, your hips, like what we're doing right now. If we can start to bring mobility into the hips by doing like little movements like we did at the beginning, circular movements, swinging movements, and then stretches, that can help to provide some relief for the pulling that you feel in your lower back. All right, now rebend the left knee, roll over to your right side, and come up onto your hands and your knees. Hands go underneath the shoulders, knees go underneath the hips. Now let's move the spine, we'll get right at it directly. Inhale to wheel the chest forward. Exhale to round the back, tuck the pelvis. Now initiate the movement for your pelvis. So start to untuck the pelvis and let the rest of the spine follow. Then tuck the pelvis under as you round your whole back. Inhale to arc your back and roll your chest forward. Exhale to round out. Inhale, wheel chest forward. Inhale into neutral. And now hold neutral without sinking or twisting. Stretch the left leg back and reach the right arm forward. But notice my lower back doesn't dip and my hips don't twist. Practice that stability at home. Stretch the right leg, reach the left arm. If you can't lift them as high, no worries. Slowly lower. Change sides. Stability is key here. Use your core. Slowly change sides. Slowly change sides. Keep the neck and the lower back long. Slowly change sides. Keep your belly pulled in. All right, now sit back into child's pose. Let your sacrum spread. Feel your belly release back to your spine so you can feel your lower back spread. Let the shoulders and the hips stretch. Inhale, come up onto hands and knees. Now lie down on your belly. Stretch back through your toes. And start to inhale into low cobra. And so when we go into lower cobra, there's a tendency to exaggerate the movement in the part of your lower back that's already weak and stiff. So that part will want to continue to move. Instead, I want you to see if you can lengthen through that area that feels weak and stiff. Then lower down, push back up onto hands and knees. And transition onto your back now. Cross your right ankle over your left knee, and we'll do a hip stretch to help open the hip. As you're doing this stretch, think two different things. On my inhalation, I'm letting my spine lengthen. And as I exhale, I drive through the right heel and release the root of the right thigh away from me. Then spread the arms out and slowly let the knees go over to the left. But if your lower back feels especially tight, you might need to put a block underneath your foot. Like I'm showing how I'm putting my big toe down so my legs don't go all the way over. So you might need to put a block or pillows if it feels like it just yanks into that part of your back that's stiff. Remember, we don't want to keep scratching at that part. So think of it like when you have a scab and you want it to heal. You wouldn't keep picking it every morning. So we want to create more stability through that part of the spine and then start to move things around it so it becomes more healthy. Bring the legs back, change the cross, hug in at first, and after you've held that hugged in position for a few breaths, set the foot down and twist. Same deal. If you need to prop the foot with a block or pillow, please do. Try to keep the left shoulder grounded. And now come back to your breath. Smooth, steady breaths. Bring the legs back to center. Give the knees a big hug. Now this Shavasana, this is the most important part of the practice. When we set up for Shavasana, we want to let go completely. Relax as much as you can from head to toe. Now instead of trying to control the breath and manipulate to take slower breaths, just watch your breath now. Spend at least a few minutes here, ideally.